Hello, and welcome to Conversations with Auntie, where we have real talk about real life situations. I am your host, Tanya Lynne. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the real, the raw, and the unapologetic with Auntie. Hey everybody, give me 1 second. I'm getting ready to share this live on our page, on our social media platforms. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody is enjoying their preparation for the holiday. I hope you're not spending too much money. And I hope you're making sure that you're getting something for yourself. Today on Conversations with Auntie, I have a very special guest with me. But before I introduce my guest, I have to shout out my homeboy, my little man, Honor. Honor was pretty ill. He was in the hospital, got out a little under 24 hours ago. He had COVID and I believe pneumonia. But Honor needs a kidney. Honor was born with a congenital kidney disorder. There's no treatment or cure for this other than a kidney transplant. Unfortunately, after multiple surgeries, his kidney function has declined. So we are looking for matches for him right now. Honor is lively, handsome, sweet, funny, just a sweetheart of a child. He is the youngest of his mother's children. And he is the apple of all of our eyes. And so what I need you to do, if you would like to be tested to see if you are a match for Honor, please contact his mother, Angel. Her number is at the bottom of the screen. It's 216-502-6049. 216-502-6049 to receive information on being tested to become a donor for Honor. Thank you, and please share the information. And so now, as most of you have known and have noticed, I have lost a considerable amount of weight. I decided to have bariatric surgery. And so June 6th of this year, I had the sleeve. And during the process, though, I needed someone to be a coach, someone to help keep me encouraged, inspired, someone to help me get out of my head. Because on this journey, people think it's the easy way out. It's really not, because I can eat a salad and it lasts 6 hours. And I'm telling myself, you're eating all day. You're going to get fat. You're not going to lose weight. And so you need somebody that can kind of help you, check you outside of you. And so I noticed my niece Brandy's arms, man, she was developing these guns as she was losing weight. And I said, I see them arms. And so this guy reached out to me. And when Juan Toney reached out to me, it was definitely an answer from God. I was stuck. I had stopped losing weight. I was eating everything that I was supposed to eat. I wasn't eating anything I wasn't supposed to eat. I was drinking. I was doing everything right, but I was stuck. And he said, why don't you just come on to the boot camp, just do a free session. And I did, and I loved it. As a result, he's my personal trainer. And I have lost 75 pounds so far. I've lost 50 of those pounds with Juan, actually. Yeah. And so he not only takes care of my body, but he prays for me. He makes sure my mental is in the proper place as well. He gives us pointers on how to eat, what to eat, when to eat. And here's what I love also. Is a word I'm getting ready to make up. He's transgenerational. Transgenerational, which means he transcends every generation. So no matter how young or how old you are, he is there to help you meet your fitness goals and get them guns right, y'all. And so there's his information. Do a quick screenshot so you'll have the information to reference later. Definitely want to reach out to him. He also does meal prep. So if you have a problem with prepping your meal and you don't have the time to do it, and they're very reasonably priced and they are delicious. So you can get him, it's like one-stop shop. And so with that being said, we'll get more into who he is as we have a conversation with Auntie, because Fit does have a formula. And today you're going to hear all about that formula with my guest, Juan Toney. Welcome to Conversations with Auntie.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Oh, you are more than welcome. I'm a little nasally. I'm recovering from a sinus thing, but it is good to be with you today. I haven't been able to train because life was lifing, and it's okay. That means I'm alive, and God is blessing me, and He's doing some things in my life.
That's right.
But you still check on me, make sure I do that bag, secure my bag, my blessings, accomplishments, and goals. You make sure that I'm eating right. There's still a level of accountability that I have to have with you, and I appreciate that. So let me ask you this. Have you always been fit?
I've always been passionate about fitness. My background is that my grandparents raised me for the younger half of my life. And my granddad, he was an RTA driver, but also his passion was in fitness and bodybuilding. So as a young child, we would actually always do the horseplay, piggyback ride, playing around the house. But then in the middle of piggyback ride, Pops would knock out a good 100 push-ups.
Wow.
So I'd jump off his back, try to keep up with him. But on the same, my grandmom, she actually was one of the first entrepreneurs that I ever was introduced to, because she had to quit her factory job at a young age due to heart condition and began a daycare service.
Wow.
So as a child, I would actually ride down with grandma on the bus with my granddad to Mount Sinai.
Okay.
And I would sit in the waiting room and see all these different folks that are at, different levels of ailment. And as a child, I really didn't know how to process that. But I knew everybody there was sick for whatever reason.
And as a kid, we capture images and we remember those images.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it was on two different ends of the scale where I definitely was introduced to eating right, nutrition, vitamins, exercise. The other end, as far as watching, health deteriorate. So, Pops kept me in sports and kept me in athletic backgrounds. So I've always loved and been a fitness advocate, yes.
Okay. But have you always been fit? Have you always been in shape?
Yes, I was naturally very slim, on the very slim side, where my aunts nicknamed me Bones.
Wow.
So I had a passion for exercise, but couldn't put on muscle like a lot of underweight teenagers.
Okay.
So got into exercise. The birth was the day I got at 12 years of age and got that Joe Weider weight set. Christmas Day. I remember walking into the living room and seeing that weight set by the tree. I ran, put on my winter gloves, like they were workout gloves, and went right to work.
Wow.
And from that, I never looked back.
So as they say, the rest is history.
Exactly.
So where did you start? I believe you said you started at Bally's?
Yes, I started in the industry back in 1995. I worked for a year at General Nutrition Center in Maple Heights, and then around the corner was Bally's Total Fitness. And, I like to call myself a rhino, not a dinosaur. I've been in this game a long time. And the analogy of that is that rhinos have thick skin, they eat lean, but keep charging. Because right outside the jungle is paradise. But you have to have your head down and stay focused.
Yes.
But my early years at Bally's, I was called a program director. I started with Bally's in 96, and at that time, they didn't have all these personal training studios, online boot camps, Pelotons, YouTube channels.
Right.
Everybody went to Bally's, 380-something locations globally.
Yeah.
So
I went in Pittsburgh, yeah.
So everybody that went there actually got introduced to membership information. And back then, there were these 3-year contracts.
Yep.
Everybody got locked into that 3-year agreement. And my job was to show them around the facility, give them information on the gym, and give them one piece of paper that they would use that kept on file at the gym for the next 36 months.
Okay.
Now, I was with Bally's from 96 through 2006. So I went from a program director to an assistant manager to up to an area director.
So you learned a lot.
Yeah, and I took my leap of faith and started my own company.
Okay.
But my latter years with Bally's, I spent more time with folks trying to help them get out those 3-year contracts. And as a young adult, I didn't understand, and that bothered me being I love exercise. But it is an intangible.
Yeah.
Everybody came to that facility for a goal to be achieved, but somewhere along that journey, they lost focus. So I began to study the science of neuroscience and why folks forget and fall off the way they do. So I kind of infused that, and that's really my niche inside this wellness game.
So here's what I want to touch on. You said somewhere along the line, people lose focus. That's why you're so important to me, because I don't lose focus. It's just lives. And sometimes I'm a school nurse, and some days can be very, very long for me. Change of weather with a diagnosis, an autoimmune condition diagnosis, of multiple sclerosis, sometimes it can be very tiring for me. And you never make me feel worthless or like a failure or bad. You make sure that we're doing something every day. You check in. And I think that's what happens when life is lifing, or when things start happening, or my life shifted. I just got a elevation in church, so that's more responsibility. Working for the first time in 2 years, trying to figure all of that out when you haven't worked in 2 years, and my time was just my time. And then I have my nonprofit, and then I have some books I have to get out and finish a movie script. So it's trying to juggle all that time. And what I love about Fit Forever, your company, your stuff.
That's right.
Is that it's fit for, I'm going to be fit forever you. It's always going to fit wherever I am in my life. Whether it's really busy or whether it's really slow, you make sure that we can grab hold of something, whether it's one-on-one training with you or boot camp. And you can do it virtual. You don't have to be here in Cleveland, Ohio.
Right.
Because your virtual classes, they're everywhere. So what are some of the states? What's some of the states that people are from?
Mississippi, Texas, Georgia, Florida, Oregon, Ohio, of course, New York, California. There's about 28 states that we're in right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just by the blessing of God, that became a option through the pandemic. I've always been a belly-to-belly person as far as a coach and trainer. I did do a little sprinkle of life coaching in between my personal training services, but, March 15th, 2020 was a renaissance.
Yeah.
The beginning of a renaissance
Sure was.
with the shutdown. So I went home like everybody else had to when the world shut down and prayed. And from that, we got the Fit Forever virtual experience. And that's my online boot camp program. Yep.
And it's wonderful. Because we for real be burning calories. And my abs and my obliques and my thighs and my toes and my nose, it be hurting. But I can see it. It's I'm tickled because a year ago this time I was a 3X. A year ago this time I was a 22, 24.
Where are you at now?
I'm like a size 14 pant. My shirts and jackets are mediums and larges now.
Say it again. You got to feel that. That's a huge accomplishment.
Look, I got that little zoom, zoom, zoom.
That's
zoom.
right.
Yes. I looked at myself like, oh, I'm cute. Look at me, I went to work yesterday and I had on a pair of pants that fitted and a shirt that fitted and the jacket, everything was fitting. And they were like, oh my goodness, you look so tiny today. And it made me feel so good. Mm-hmm. But more importantly, I did it. I'm glad I look good, of course. But I did it for health reasons. It was an ounce of prevention for me, and I've tried to work out in the past, and people didn't quite understand multiple sclerosis and some of the medical conditions and things that go with it. And so they pushed me hard, and then my body fought against me. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to tell my MS community, you can do this. Because guess what? You can even do modifications, and he will show you how to do it in a chair. When I started with him, I was doing a lot of modifications in the chair. I rarely do modifications now. And my gait and my stability has gotten so much better. So you can do this. And he does not say, you know, you can do better than that. He doesn't. He meets you where you're at and will push you into your next and be right there with you every step of the way. So if you're dealing with any kind of, I'm multiple sclerosis, I can speak to that community, but any other ailments, you can do this. Senior citizens, you can do this. Trust me. Rheumatoid arthritis, you can do it. You can do it. I got some stuff. Left knee goes this way. The right hip goes that way. You can do this and you will feel good about doing it. It's like a drug. After I work out, whether it's with you or I do at least 10 minutes a day, it's always more than 10 minutes. But I do that. It's like a drug.
Can I share what drugs those are?
Yeah.
Well, the first drug that you kicks in is the dopamine. This is a God-given chemical that we all have within us. And dopamine, it kicks off and it helps you feel good about goal achievement. So when you set a goal for yourself and you look forward to getting that goal accomplished,
Okay.
once it gets accomplished, that dopamine spike kicks in.
Oh.
It's kind of like Plaslow's law. Have you ever heard of Plaslow's law, where he actually did an experiment with his dog?
Yep.
And he would ring the bell every time he fed the dog.
He conditioned the dog.
And then what the dog began to do, every time he heard the bell, he began to salivate and knew it was time to eat.
Right.
So eventually, he just began to ring the bell, and the dog would automatically salivate because of that trigger.
Yeah.
So that dopamine kicked in. Along with that, what I always suggest we have to do, starting out, as you know, is at least 10 minutes of exercise daily. By doing that, that's increasing the endorphins. Endorphins get that blood flowing, makes you feel good, and also releases the oxytocin. These are 3 different chemicals inside of us that keep our energy level up, which I like to call the vibration. Yeah. And, law of vibration, that's one of God's universal laws. It's not good or bad, it just governs the universe. Yeah. Like gravity, reciprocity, cause and effect. Yeah. But you have to keep your vibration on a certain feeling to stay and get that intangible accomplished. Yes. So that's where the accountability kicks in. Because I know it takes at least 66 days to 365 to create new habits called synaptic connections, creating these new thought wires inside your brain to create these new habits. So my job as your coach is to teach folks how to paradigm shift. Yeah. Meet them where they are right now with the habits they currently have, introduce them and make them mindful, teach them mindfulness, and then begin to acknowledge where they are and paradigm shift and replace the old habits slowly with small new habits. And that's how we make drastic changes in life.
And I think it's so important because often when you start a better lifestyle change, I don't like to say diet. It's a better lifestyle change.
Right.
When you start to do some things to expand your life and to give yourself the quality of life, sometimes people drastically tell you what you can't do, and they make a drastic change. Like all of a sudden you got to stop doing this, but then they don't tell you what to start doing. Mm-hmm. And so what they do is they take the ice cream away, but they don't show you how to make a healthy treat. I get my the protein shakes. And I'll use my protein yogurt, Greek yogurt. Mm-hmm. And you can get parchment paper or wax paper. You can mash up fruit, stick a stick in it, and mash the fruit on top of the stick and cover it with your Greek yogurt and wrap it and freeze it. And now you got a good
little freeze pot,
right? And so when you're not, and so you send out a newsletter with recipes on it. You do meal planning. So you don't just say, don't do this. You actually show us what to do and how to do. So you don't just take something and leave a void there for us to try to figure out. You give us the replacement. You tell us what to put in it. Even down to holidays, if people like cocktails, you let them know what kind of liquor to drink.
Yeah. I mean, because the whole thing is we have to be health conscious, not health nuts.
Right.
You got to kick it. You have to enjoy life, but it's about manipulating without eliminating everything that you enjoy. And, as long as you are willing and open to understand and learn to change is going to happen. Mm-hmm. And that's what I like to share those tools because, like the periodic table, all these different formulas create these different masses, oxygen, carbon, so forth. So the formula to become a fit forever, there's 5 components. Number 1 is your proper nutrition,
Okay.
eating smart, not less. Learning to eat for your body type, which I coach you on how to do, because there's different body types, so you want to eat for your body type. Number 2 is proper supplementation. Your multivitamins, your hair, skin, and nails, your zinc. A through zinc, as the commercial says. But before there was pharmaceutical, there were nutraceuticals, nutrients, minerals. Everything's here is for us for our skeletal structure to make us longevity.
Yeah.
Number 3 is resistance training, strength training.
Yeah.
That's going to keep your muscle density up, but more importantly, sculpt your body, redefine yourself. So our mantra is, as you well know, is tone, lean, healthy, happy, and sexy.
Yes, baby.
Weight reduction is a byproduct of putting in the work.
Yeah.
We want to look good in our swimsuits and our birthday suits.
Right.
And that's where the resistance training comes in. You have the positive self-talk. And that's really the most important. You becoming your biggest cheerleader through your internal dialogue. And that's what I shared today in one of my Facebook posts.
Yes.
It's just the self-awareness. You have to be aware of what you're telling yourself daily as far as your internal dialogue, because you talk yourself right up out of it. But through visualization, goal setting, and then staying in the present moment of where you're headed, you can always see victory ahead.
And it's important, I think, during this time of the year especially, because people get so caught up on the gifts to give. I stopped that years ago. Stopped many years ago. If we weren't connected all year long, why am I worried about a gift to get you?
Right.
Straight. And even if we were connected, the gift is me. Not to be obnoxious, but sometimes people don't have it.
Right.
And what they do is they stress themselves out. And then they get into this crazy headspace. Then they start emotionally eating all the wrong stuff, and then you go to families' houses and you want to eat and eat and eat and eat. This is what I do. So I eat. I'm going to eat. I'm going to eat everything that there is to eat. But I'm going to eat a little bit of everything there is to eat in moderation. I got to watch my portion controls, or I will take it with me and I can eat that tomorrow, but I'm still eating everything. I'm just not eating it all right now, and I do portion controls and I ration it out, throughout the day or throughout the week, and I enjoy it. I don't restrict myself. I don't cheat myself. I treat myself. But at the same time, like you said, you can't allow yourself to have the incorrect narrative,
Right.
On your own self. You just can't beat up on yourself. You got to give yourself some grace.
And that's the thing. You must have a vision, as far as where you want to go. But there's 3 steps to it. Everybody has a certain goal. We know how to set goals. We're familiar with goal setting. But what are you going to do once you hit that goal? Are you going to go back to the old ways? Because that's what most people do. They'll start a diet, get to that weight reduction.
And nothing to maintain.
And then all the old habits come back. So the number 1 is the goal. You set the goal for yourself because you want to have a bullseye.
Yeah.
But then there's the system. The system I coach to keep everybody accountable for is that nutrition, proper exercise, and the other pieces of the formula. But most importantly is the identity.
Yeah.
Who are you going to become once you hit that target? Because to change your personal reality, you have to create a new personality.
Yes. I went to Target the other day, picking up a couple things for my daughter, and I saw this coat hanging up. This is the first time I've done this, and it was a medium. I said, "Oh, let me try it on." Now, just last month, I saw and I walked past like, "Oh, I can't even fit that." But 2 days ago, it shifted up here. It finally connected. And put it on, and it fit perfectly. Didn't buy it because it wasn't in my budget, but I'll probably go back after the holidays and grab it. But my mindset finally caught up with my actions. And then as I was leaving, they had Starbucks. So I don't really drink caffeine, but I wanted something nice from Starbucks. I haven't had anything from Starbucks in like almost 8 months. And so I got a little chocolate caramel mocha something. So what that meant was The next day, you're not eating any carbs. The next day, you're not having any sugars. The next day, you're not doing 10 minutes, you're doing 45 minutes at least. So you have to know how to balance and compensate for the things that you want. But it starts with the mindset, because my mind already knew, if you do this, then you have to do this.
Right, right. And Steve, you've been doing this a while now, and you have conditioned yourself to develop those strategies. Those are the strategies to maintain the identity that's going to have you in that medium jacket after the holidays.
Yes.
But the thing of it is that you visualize exactly who you're going to become, and everything. First thing is order. That's once you have order, and you can visualize what you want to become, you're already in motion, because the seed's been planted. But what most of us don't do is continue to nurture the seed. Everything has an incubation and a gestation process.
Yes.
So once you plant that seed, have that goal set for yourself, you have to do the research, get outside your comfort zone, and begin to challenge yourself to break the soil so the rose can blossom.
Yeah. Yeah. And let me say this, because some will say that know me, well, you had bariatric surgery, so you're going to lose weight anyways. Nuh-uh. Juan, didn't I gain weight when I was on vacation?
Yes, she did.
Yes, I gained weight when I went to Houston, and I gained weight when I went to Tampa. But I didn't beat myself up, because I went on vacation to enjoy myself. So I worked a little harder before I went on vacation so that I could have a little leeway, little wiggle room. Mm-hmm. But when I came back, I went to Houston at 190, came back at 195.
And that's the thing. I never tell folks when on vacation, I don't tell you, you better have fun. When you get back, we got to lock in. That's the conversation, because you have to enjoy yourself. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, is that's your time for you to family, yourself, and to really experience a different part of the world. You get back, you got to get back inside and lock in, and we do that by writing down the goals, and then the incremental goals in the meantime. Now, I know you got your target set for your ultimate goal, but inside that, we have to secure that bag.
Yeah.
And that bag is those blessings, accomplishments, and small goals. Yeah. The short-term goals. Yeah. Which she said, getting the extra cardio in when she got back, cutting out the sugar and carbs when she got back. Those are the goals that got her numbers back down.
Sure did.
That she put on when she was gone.
Got the numbers back down so I could get them back up when I went to Tampa, y'all. So then I got them down to 192. I go to Tampa. I come back from Tampa at 197. But today I'm currently at 190 from the scale this morning. So I won't weigh myself again until December 31st, because my goal is to be in the 180s by January 1st. So December 31st. And I'm going on vacation again, December 30th. But since today was my last day of school, I'm on winter break, I'm going to be increasing my workout. Mm-hmm. Because I can rest and work out now. I don't have to worry about the kids or anything like that. So I'm going to increase it so that I can compensate for what's about to come. But I learned that from you, because you have our roadmap meetings on Sundays, every other Sunday, and you give us that. It's our GPS. It is definitely our roadmap, and it shows us what to do. So I worked hard so that I had some wiggle room to gain some weight. I could go and enjoy whatever I wanted to enjoy on vacation, and did. And then I came back, and it wasn't like, oh, you gained so. My whole mind changed, because you have developed such an awesome strategy for us to follow. It's easy to just do this, and boom, the results are boom, instantaneously. Yeah. You see, within a couple of days, I dropped a pound. A week, that's gone now. But it works if you work it.
That's it.
If you don't work it, it ain't gonna work.
That's it. And your muscle has memory. So once you get right back into it, everything kicks back in as far as the muscle. It's like rebooting the computer system. Yeah. But the thing that we had to do first is take that hard drive, bring the new information, and put it in that $1 billion brain of yours, which make a software. Yeah. So now it's running on automatic pilot. So your subconscious, now this is who you are. You've connected with the identity, and that gets the GPS set, the goal producing system set. Yeah. So now we got our strategy, we got our focus, and there's no way you're not going to go. It's guaranteed.
It's guaranteed. And so the topic of the show is dropping the weight to win. So I'm ready to shift because some people have other weights they have to drop to win, like mental health. Some people are stuck in bad relationships because they're afraid to leave because this is what they know. So at least they know this crazy. At least they know this dysfunction. At least they know that she's only going to do but so much or he's only going to do but so much, and they stay stuck. And as a result of that, sometimes it causes people to overeat.
Oh, yeah.
Because food becomes the pacifier and it begins to compensate for where they're lacking in other areas. And so how important is a healthy lifestyle? How important is it to make sure that you take care of everything else so that your weight loss journey can be successful?
Well, it's the most important just because, success has been once based upon, you look at it like a circle. Lying down the middle is your career, your work, and then your economic, how much money you're making. That was what success was,
Right.
what we thought success was.
Yeah.
But in reality of it is, if you don't have your physical health and your mental health, you can never be successful.
Right.
And the way you get back into a healthy mental space is, first of all, seeking assistance and support.
Yeah.
And once you find that particular system that works for you, you have to just take your time and work through it because it takes effort. But what most people do, they'll, like you said, they'll eat, and often the trigger for us is put the weight on them. But a lot of folks eat as a buffering mechanism. They put all this extra weight on so that this way it's more intimidating to the individual and will be less abrasive when they're being abused, whether it's mentally, physically, or emotionally.
Yeah, and it's very important. I do a lot of work with the Domestic Violence Center. And so if anybody is in a domestic violence situation, you could just Google Journey. It used to be the Domestic Violence and Child Advocacy Center. It's called Journey now. And the awesome thing is the 24-hour hotline. And I just segued. I didn't even know I was going to touch this. So I don't have the information. But you could just Google Journey Domestic Violence and it'll come up. You can call and text 24 hours. And it is available. It is available. It is available for you. They will help you, and there's places that they can refer you to, and they provide a safe space for you. Also, if you're dealing with some mental health issues, call your doctor. If you don't have a doctor, go to the hospital. Every hospital has a mental health ward, and tell them you need help. You need some information. You need to be referred to somebody, and they can help you because it starts with the head. Because I tell people all the time, what falls on the head, what rests on the head, it falls on the body. And with that being said, so a man thinketh, the Bible says, so a man thinketh, so is he. And so if you think that you are nothing, you will never be something. If you think you can't do it, you will never do it. And so it changes when your mindset changes. You can't continue to do the same thing over and over again expecting different results. You can't. That is the definition of insanity. And so this navigates all of this. And so when you get this together, all of this can fall in line. What do you got to say about that?
Well, that's just how it works. Einstein, he said it best. Imagination is the preview for life's coming attractions, and our brain is our true eyes. The holes in our face are just what light comes through. Our brain is actually what we begin to process, and to make the shift, you have to understand our beliefs become our habits, and then our habits make us who we are. So if you're going down the same path on a consistent basis, first of all, you have to believe you deserve better. And to do that, you have to create that internal dialogue. Because by the time we're 18, we've been told you can't, you wouldn't, you shouldn't, you better not over 150,000 times. That's by our teachers, by our parents, by our cousins, by our Sunday schools. Everybody who's supposed to be rearing us, we're implanting that negative self-talk. So by the time it's time for us to become adults, we have this limited belief. And then you fall into a situation where the person that's with you is also has a toxic. Now becomes poisonous.
Yeah, because now you've established a pattern, which becomes a cycle.
Exactly.
And then you get stuck in the cycle and you don't know how to come off of that cycle. And unfortunately, some people stay in that cycle so long until the children see the cycle. Now it becomes a generational curse, you know. But there's something you said. You said your eyes are the holes, but the brain is what makes the decision.
Exactly. Yes.
And that's important because even on a weight loss journey or a journey to better your life, your eyes can see something. And you're like, I need that. But then your brain has to kick in and say, no, you don't need that. Or how about not have that, but have this? Like, and so you have to make sure that your whole environment, mind, body, and spirit, is aligned for you to achieve what you set out to do.
And that's it. It's conditioning. You're just doing it over and over, like learning how to ride the bike, like learning how to write. It takes time for the conditioning to where the mindfulness becomes effortless. Yes. So when you first begin to do it, it's not easy.
No, it's not.
It takes work, and you're gonna fall off, but you got to get back on the bike and continue to pedal. Because long as you have the vision, you have the ideal new version of yourself you want to inscribe daily, because it's by putting that pen to paper, it creates different energies inside of you. So now you're daily writing a love letter to yourself, and you address that love letter with these small goals that you hit. Then once you hit the small goal, the dopamine kicks in. You want some more of that natural high.
Oh, yes, honey.
So then once you start feeling good about yourself, things begin to change around you.
Yeah.
You begin to talk different. You begin to move different. You begin to actually see yourself in a different light. Because when you first began to tell yourself these conversations, it wasn't believable because that wasn't you. But now you're embodying the belief. And there's an initial phase, a results phase, and a maintenance phase.
Yeah.
The initial phase is that first 0 to 45 days when it comes to this weight reduction journey, the belief phase. Igniting something new inside of you and keeping the gas on the fire till it sparks that burning desire. Yeah. And when the ignition begins getting hot, then you start seeing the results. People start giving you the compliments. You start digging in the back of the closet, putting on stuff put on in months.
Yes.
And then, but what it happens, once again, you have to allow the process to totally take shape. Don't abort the mission.
Right.
What most folks do, they get halfway on their journey, get cute, and then go back to all them old ways. Like I said earlier, it takes at least 270 days from conception to birth for a child to get on this planet.
Yeah.
And you have to love yourself, for ladies who have had children, like that seed inside of you. Because the seed's planted once you set the goal. Nurture that goal until you see that new version of yourself.
Yeah.
Protect that body. And for fellas, if you have children, got nephews, cousins, little nieces, and you saw your sister, mom, whomever have as such, you saw the love they put in. You have to have that same love for yourself. Yeah. Whether it's male or female, you have to have that love for yourself. And then once you break that mold, the tipping point begins. And the coolest part about it, every day you exercise, you put 3 more hours on your life expectancy. We all got to go one day, but you're preserving yourself. That's why, my catchphrase is wellness is a destination, not a way of life. As far as you got to keep trekking ahead to get it done.
Yeah, and because it changes too. Right now, I got this head thing going on. I was congested. Now it just wants to release. And even with that, you can't let ailments and illnesses just make you stop. You have to sometimes tweak it and put certain things on pause. Like I told you, I got to pause personal training until January 8th. However, I have a membership to Planet Fitness, and I will do everything you showed me to do. I know how to work the machines. I know how to do the machines because you showed me that. Mm-hmm. I got videos at home. I have a treadmill at home. I have a gazelle at home. I will do that, because it is a destination. And it doesn't matter how I get there, just as long as I get there.
Right.
And I think sometimes we talk ourselves out of doing certain things because I don't have time to go to the gym. I got minor children. You're virtual. So all you have to do is just go home and go to the Zoom link, because you're virtual. You know, um, you can go on YouTube. You go if you want to find something out. YouTube University got it.
Exactly.
And so I think we've got into a pattern where things have been so complicated in the past, but it's not that complicated anymore.
Well, it's not. But the thing of it is just so much information out there, and everybody is not knowledgeable.
Right.
Like once again, YouTube University, you have to do your research on the person because they have a million views.
That's right.
Doesn't mean they got anything, as far as to give you for
Well, just because they got a joke up around their neck doesn't mean that they're a certified trainer such as yourself.
Exactly, and then that's what we have to realize is that there's millions of great trainers, but like you shared at the beginning, is a lot of trainers will push people beyond their threshold, and you have to find out where a person is, pace them, and begin to slowly, first of all, get their internal dialogue motivated. You can always see, and this is for the trainer, you can always see when your client begins to shift because their conversations change, their clothing changes, they start wearing different little workout outfits, and I call it the tipping point. They start really beginning to feel the difference, but it takes that consistency and healthy accountability. And that's, the word boot camp, that's the word that's used for a group exercise.
Yeah.
But we are the total opposite with Fit Forever You.
Yeah,
Fit
you really
Forever
are.
You is you as an individual becoming fit forever. But Fit Forever University, that's what it's. We are an institution for the advancement of knowledge.
That's right.
So this way you have the proper information so you can paradigm shift, break the generational curses of the diabetes, of the cholesterol being so high,
Come on.
the high blood pressure,
Yeah.
the heart attacks. And it's just simple facts that we learn how to eat by the way our parents were taught. Our parents were taught by our grandparents, which caused the brown and black people to be in this certain sickness decade after decade.
Right.
So once you learn because the game is 60% nutrition, 30% resistance training, 10% cardio. Once you understand how to eat, everybody is going to be a lot healthier and live a lot longer.
I do something that I've never done before. I do meal planning, and I will eat the same meal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I'm okay with that. I'll get the ground chicken, and sometimes, ground turkey, but sometimes I'll get ground chicken, and I mix ground chicken with ground turkey, and I drain spinach and put it in there, and I put celery in there. I put onions in it, peppers in it, and carrots in it.
What kind of seasoning?
And I use garlic powder. I use cumin. I sprinkle a little turmeric in there.
Yeah.
I sprinkle a little ginger in
Yeah,
there.
you got to hook it up. That's the one thing. It does not have to be blah.
Yeah.
Make your food tasty. Now, you want to,
Yeah.
when you season it to your liking, but make sure it's not fried. Air fried is fine. Pan seared is fine, but fried food you want to stay away from. And that seasoning, that's the key. That way you can eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I can. And I put it in my glass dish and put it in the oven. And I'll eat it for breakfast. I might have it with maybe a sliced avocado or some grapes or even some cucumber. We have been conditioned that we can only eat certain food at certain times of the day, and that's wrong.
That's a myth, yes.
That is a myth. And so I will eat that for lunch. I might have it with mashed up avocado with some garlic powder, a little bit of Slap Your Mama seasoning on it, some low-fat mayo, mix it up. And I might have a couple slices of cucumbers with it.
Sounds good.
Yeah. For dinner, it might just be some spinach or some other kind of greens with that, or a salad with it. But what it does for me, it helps me not grab the wrong food because I gotta go home and cook. So I'm just gonna grab the wrong stuff from a fast food place and eat all the wrong things. Now I will go get that Wendy's burger, the single with extra onions, no pickles, no tomatoes, and cheese, and take the bun off. And take the bun off.
Yeah,
You know?
and that's where the white flour, the process, that's where the majority of the damage is. So if you're on the go, that's a good option. Yeah. That's the main thing. You want to have, for the nutrition, you want to have you a king or queen size breakfast, snack, a prince or princess size lunch, snack, and then a poor person size dinner.
Yeah.
You don't want to fill up the tank and park the car.
Right.
But if we're only eating once a day, that's where the sugar levels drop and the cravings come in, and we look for something to spike our insulin.
right? Because I eat all day long.
As you should.
What did I have this morning? I had nuts and cran raisins. I had various nuts and cran raisins, and a cup of apple cinnamon spice herb tea. That was my breakfast. For lunch, I had a little bit of pasta because they had the Christmas party thing. I had a little bit of pasta, a half a bun, and that was fine. That was pasta. But then tonight I'm gonna go home because I haven't eaten yet, and I'll just do a chicken breast because it's protein.
Perfect. That's perfect. That's it.
You know, but my snacks are like cheese sticks, the Greek yogurt,
Protein.
exactly. And I get the Saigon cinnamon is so good. They say it's a better cinnamon to have, so I have Saigon cinnamon. So I take a protein cup. I get my yogurt that has 20 or 50 grams of protein, put fresh fruit in it, put some slithered almonds on it, sprinkle some Saigon cinnamon. And sometimes, like I sent it to you the other night, that was my dinner. And it's filling.
And that's the breakfast. Breakfast, you hyphenate it. Break the fast. When you're sleeping, our body's recovering. And during that 7 to 8 to 9 hours, that's when our body's breaking down and trying to heal. So when you have the first meal, it could be that avocado and toast, or it could be a chicken breast and a yam. It's just breaking the fast, putting the first log in the fireplace to get the metabolism going.
And throughout the day, we bank the fire.
Exactly. You have to keep the fire going.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We have viewers. Wow, we have a lot of viewers. So if you viewers have any questions, please text it in the comment. Please type it in the comment. So, excuse me. So let me ask you this. What is your junk food? Like, what junk food just takes you there? Like, what is your go-to junk food?
Oreos and butter pecan ice cream. Number one is butter pecan ice cream. That takes it all the way back to my granddad.
See, I was going to say mine's my grandfather's favorite. I just saw a post today that said, who keeps the people who make butter pecan ice cream in business? And somebody said, me and my grandpa.
Yep.
My grandpa did.
Yep, so that's my number one. But far as number two would be the Oreos cookies. And what I do, I don't just grab one or two. I'll go inside the sleeve and I'll grab this many. However many I got pretty big hands. I have just about 8 to 10 cookies. And I get my almond milk and I go to work. So that's don't do it too often unless I'm working hard or working on a new project, start stressing. Then I might have a few Oreos. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay, what's your fat meal?
My fat meal is burgers. I'm a burger guy. I like burgers. So far, I like me a good burger, and I try to find this exclusive burgers. So I'll go and Google restaurants like. For one, like burgers and beer, they have some very different kind of burgers.
They do. They have a nice variety of burgers.
The Wahlbergs, they have some great burgers. So I like burgers. Burgers and some what they call it, cut fries. Those hot.
Yeah.
And I'm good. I'm good. Put a little vinegar on my fries, and I like mustard rather than salt. Rather than ketchup, and my burger, and I'm good to go. Yeah, that's
what you know about vinegar on fries?
Oh, yeah.
We do that in Pennsylvania. What you know about that? We do that in Pittsburgh.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I love that. So what's your healthy jam?
Well, what I normally do is I don't eat meat no more than about 2 to 3 times a month. So I normally eat the same thing every day as well. So I'm really big into fasted. So like my first meal is normally after about 12:30, 1 o'clock. Yeah. And when I have the time, it'll be about 4 egg whites, 2 yolks, and I put a little bit of fat-free cheese in it, and I put some taco seasoning in it to give it that kind of taco flavor. I'll toast a couple pieces of keto bread, and I put some, can't believe it ain't butter on there and preserved. That's my breakfast almost every day.
I never taco see.
That changes the game.
I never thought of that.
Cheese,
that's the stuff right there.
That changes the game. And then I'll have my snack, pistachios and almonds. I'll mix the pistachios. And that's one thing that you want to make sure that you're not just sitting there eating the whole bag, because too much fat is still fat.
It's still fat.
It's a healthy fat. So I'll take a 1/4 cup of pistachios and mix it with a 1/4 cup of almonds or walnuts. And I'll pre-bag those. So that's my snack. Then I'll have a protein shake and a protein bar. Then I'll normally have some more almonds and cashews, and then dinner time is a salad. Yeah. Then I have my cheat meal on the weekend. I normally go find me a burger somewhere.
because you know how to stay on track. You know how to stay on track. I tell also when I've told people, they say, well, how do you do it? I mean, you look so good. It's not easy.
No? Yeah.
It's not easy. It's a whole mental thing that I had to struggle. And finally, I've gotten to that place. Somebody asked me yesterday, do you see yourself small? Now I said, I finally do. In Target, when I saw the medium jacket, and let me try that on.
Nice.
Not even a thought. Like, I'm not even plus size. I don't have to shop at plus size stores anymore. And like in the plus size stores, I'm like a size 10 in the store because I done lost so much weight. But it's something that you have to work at every single day. And the way I do it is that I realize that it's easy for me to invest in you and everybody else. So how come I can't invest in myself?
Let me tell you what you already know, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna share with everybody else. So what we do is we do habit stacking. We take an old habit and we put a new habit with it. So an old habit, like we do every day, you have to wake up in the morning. Most folks that I know have some kind of spiritual creator that they like to thank every morning. So your old habit is waking up and thanking God for air in your lungs. Your new habit would be saying your affirmation and saying your goal.
Yes.
Before your feet hit the floor, before you wake up the kids, before you check your social media, check your emails, your old habit, you wake up, thank God. New habit, say your affirmation. Get out the bed. Old habit, you brush your teeth. Every day, folks brush their teeth and wash their face. Old habit. New habit, you look that person in the mirror, you tell her or him in third person, you are a healthy, happy sex. Because the third person changes the vibration internally, having that mirror message with the one-on-one. But you're already up and moving with the creator, so you're already co-creating.
Right.
Then you take it a third time, and you go ahead and you write it down. So while your coffee's warming up, while your car's warming up, while the kids getting dressed, that's the old habit. You go ahead and write down your affirmation and your goals for the next couple of days. Now your GPS is set, and now you're a thought leader, and you begin to stay on track because the world's going to be rolling and taking you all kind of directions. But if you got that checklist, at the end of the day, if you got some goals accomplished, those goals move into your accomplishment category. You keep checking off the small goals, hit your ultimate goal right in the middle of the bullseye.
You just showed me how to do my bag.
That's
Because
right.
my bag, I be trying to, it be in my head, my blessings, my accomplishments, my goals. But so when I do my car to heat it up before I go, because I do it from my bedroom window, I can just sit on my bed and write my bag.
Right there.
My blessings, my accomplishment, and what my goal is for the day.
That's it.
Just show me how to get it done.
Yep.
Because I be tripping on that thing. I know you like, if she don't turn in this bag.
Yeah, you're not alone. That's one thing. I'm patient, but I'm hecka persistent. I'm gonna stay on you.
Yeah, you persistent, all right. You real persistent, but you're not mean with it. And that's what I like. You give us grace, and I appreciate that.
This one sister back in the day, she said, Juan, she's about 10 years ago, she's like, you had the patience of Joe. I said, well, I appreciate that because, my counterpart at the time, he was a trainer as well, but he had, he was yelling, cussing, fussing, and so we were like yin and yang. Great relationship for his business, but, it's just not the way that I perceive the way I want to run my structure.
Yeah. You don't. I mean, I remember a couple of weeks ago I was there and I was doing the ropes, and I always would see people when they had the Biggest Loser. I always watched them kind of shows, and they be doing the ropes, and I was doing it. And I have a side of my body that is a little weaker. And I was like, no, you're not weak. You're gonna do this today. You better come on and do this. It's just there. It's because what you give out, the energy you give us is the energy we match and give it back to ourselves as well. And so that's why I am blessed. I don't just call you my trainer, I call you my life coach. And I'm somebody that's a pastor. I'm somebody that does domestic violence advocacy. I'm somebody that people always come to, but I call you my trainer and my life coach because you give me more than 10 reps, 15 reps, 20 squats, 30 points. You give me so much more. You are definitely focused on my mind, my body, and my spirit, and you love you some God, and so you have been an extraordinary blessing to my life. And y'all, get his information. We're going to put it back up. You definitely have to reach out to him. You definitely, if you want a lifestyle change, this is the end of the year. Everybody wants to lose weight, the same resolution, but let's do it in a way that is healthy and really get your lifestyle on track so that you are the best you that you can be for yourself. If you didn't catch the information, you can go watch the replay. It's always on my page. It is always on Cas Radio and TV's page and the network. Go back, screenshot it, get the information, and reach out to him because you deserve to be the best you that you can be for yourself. Stop trying to be the best you can be for everybody else and giving yourself the leftovers. A no good you is a no good you for everybody else. Trust and don't believe. I know. I learned the hard way. But I am living my best blessed life at 59 and looking fine. I mean, I'm svelte, y'all. I went from a 42D bra. I'm a 38C. From a extra large to a 3X top to a large or medium top, from a size 2022 pant to a size 14 pant. I mean, it wasn't just the bariatric surgery, it was him, because I got stuck. And I'm looking at people's comments, and a lot of people just get stuck, and when you get stuck, you give up. No, Fit has a formula, and Juan told us what the formula is, so definitely want to check him out. Give us some, we got like 5 more minutes, so give us some closing stuff you want to say.
Well, yeah, definitely.
Talk about your 2024 project.
The 2024, I'll be glad to. As far as the Fit Forever Foods, that's the founder of Fit Forever Foods, which is the meal prep. And, our meal prep is keto-based, so you can actually get some delicious meals. I am not the chef. I actually partnered with the restaurant, and they create the menu, and I do actually coincide with them on if it's healthy enough to market or not. But it's definitely always very reasonable and affordable. My latest project is Life Sync Coaches. I've a good friend of mine who's a serial entrepreneur. He and I have launched the Life Sync Coaches. So you want to check out the website, lifesynccoaches.com. It's our life coaching program. So I am a certified integrative life coach, and that's one thing that separates most, because those that are successful, we're always going, and we end up and we don't have any balance. We either are alone in life because we're chasing that dollar. We're either always stressed out. We're spiritually empty, or or we're severely overweight, or we don't have a relationship with a loved one. So what Dave and I have done now, we've created the syllabus and the coaching program to help individuals on the questionnaire, find out what area of life they want to target. And give them the tools to be the best version of themselves in 2024. He and I have been friends. He ran the west side of Ohio gyms back in Valley's days when I ran the east side. That's how we've been friends over 30 plus years. Oh. Yeah, so that's what, and I'm excited. Fit Forever Use, another 25 states in 2024. That's the goal.
I am so happy. Thank you so much. This is the best way to go into my next. By saying goodbye to my old, literally saying goodbye, baby. You got me looking good, honey.
Yes.
I can't wait to see what the summer body going to be doing, because it's going to be bodying. Because you are really blessing my life in more ways than you even know. And I'm going to be right here to continue to help you, to continue to encourage you, and to continue to promote you when I can. Everybody, this is the holiday season, but remember, Jesus is the reason for the season. He was born so that we could have a right to eternal life. Okay, so let's remember why we celebrate Christmas. Let's also remember the person who lost a child, lost a husband, lost a wife, is not working, might be alone. Let's reach outside of ourselves and bless somebody else, because you are only blessed to be a blessing. And with that, you take care, you be well, and know